Hi there, Emily from the Literacy Nest here. It's May. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. But we're getting closer to the beginning of summer. And this is sort of the time of the year when educators and families have to make these decisions whether to continue summer practice, summer reinforcement over the summer for a child so that we don't have a significant summer learning loss, or as they refer to it as summer slide, which is a common term in the education world. We all know that this particular school year has been challenging, especially if there's been a child in a remote learning situation. Maybe that particular model may not have been the best fit. Maybe it has. And maybe there's been a few sort of bumps in the road where the progress might not have been made as you would have hoped in your typical school year. Some of the things that just no matter what, whether there's a pandemic or not, that can contribute to summer slide. Let's just talk about that quickly. Socioeconomic status can sometimes be a contributing factor. There is research to support that. Students who are eligible for special education really may benefit from that extra repetition and practice and reinforcement over the summer. Students who are in intervention in the school setting, but maybe you're not quite sure whether they'll be eligible for special education just yet, or they may not have met literacy benchmarks. Okay, so these are the kiddos that were sort of at risk for having some kind of summer learning loss. Okay, they're the ones sort of like stay on our minds because they know, once the new school year hits, whether it's August, September, whenever you start your new school year, how much have they forgotten? How much review are you going to have to dive into with them? We know that some children really do lose those valuable skills that you may have worked all summer. And so that puts them particularly in a vulnerable situation. However, we want to be able to give children a nice summertime, a little bit of a break, right? To maybe have a few different learning experiences they may not have had time to have during the school year. So there is this balance that educators and families want to try and meet, the balance between academics or having, typical fun summer. Okay. Some parents, many parents have to work all summer long. So that's where, are your children going into summer camp, or is there a family member watching them? How are we going to offer them enrichment and reinforcement so we aren't having them miss just all that learning time that they may have missed out on in the somewhat tumultuous school year. So a couple of pieces of advice I will share with you. So I've talked about the different populations of children that sort of are a bit more vulnerable for summer learning loss. I went over that. Um, your child, whether they have been with a tutor or in some kind of reading intervention situation this year, um, really looking more carefully, a total break, like a 100% break from any academic reinforcement may not be the best fit. It may not be the best idea, but there are things that you can do to sort of change up the pace rather than maybe a rigorous schedule as they would have had during the school year. So I don't recommend that we have a total break. But once again, you can sort of change it up. May want to think about trying to get a break from the screen this summer. However, there are some great learning apps that you can check out and balance that out. Provide some choices for reading. So, different venue. a trip to the library. I know libraries have a lot of fun summer reading programs and incentives there. Um, Definitely talk to your child's teacher and see, is a total break really necessary for my child, or do you recommend any kind of summer reinforcement? For children in particular who do receive reading intervention, say in an Orton-Gillingham um, model, as I do see my students, we typically don't do a total break. We consider this, quote this, as the intervention as a marathon, not a sprint. So it takes time incrementally over time to really, really get a child in full remediation or giving them enough strategies where they do feel like successful readers. So even though I'm talking about maybe a little bit of less of a break, provide choice of reading options, maybe talking to your child's teacher, maybe a trip to the library, change up the pace. Maybe there's a fun theme that your child is interested in learning more about. Think of some creative ways to sort of make things not seem like it's total just here. Here's this work you need to do, and this is what you need to do this summer in order not to lose any of the learning. We want things to feel playful and leisurely in the summertime for children. So, once again, it is a balance. If you have any questions about that, I have several blog posts with more ideas on keeping the summer learning going, on keeping your readers engaged and motivated to want to read. So you definitely want to go to www.theliteracynest.com, and you can type in a search for summer and you'll see several posts come up with ideas. Another suggestion that I have is you may want to look into the summer review phonics bundle, so that if your children or your own students did experience a lot of times where things just didn't really solidify for them within the school year, then this might be good added practice. It won't overwhelm them. It's really low stress, activity based, and it's not going to have them in front of a screen all summer. There are fun games included, there's reading practice, very low prep, but something just to provide that would really balance out their summertime between academic versus having full playtime. So if you want to check that summer review bundle out, it is in my Teachers Pay Teachers store and in my own online Literacy Nest store as well. Don't forget, if you enjoy watching these videos, I would love it if you do subscribe to me. Sorry, my watch just spoke to me. I don't know why. Okay, have a wonderful summer and definitely keep in touch. Bye-bye.